Glad to have you back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the conversation right here on Lagos Television. Now, in the past couple of weeks, the surge in insecurity, as well as all aspects of our national life, has been turned to the issue of how secured are we in this country. Now, this morning, we're looking at the worsening insecurity across the nation. Of course, perhaps just to recall that, don't forget there was an incident in Kebbi State where kids from school were kidnapped, in Niger State, in Kwara State. It's been like a barrage of situations that has necessitated, some people will say perhaps even the change of security chiefs, which hasn't done much, if you ask me, as well as the directive yesterday from Mr. President that look, all VIPs, politically exposed people, police officers should be withdrawn. Well, that's the latest we've heard, as well as the release of those in Niger State and Kwara State. Joining us this morning, perhaps to put a face or to put some clarity to some of this worsening insecurity situation in the country, is a security and intelligence expert, Dr. Seyi Adetayo. It's a pleasure to have you join us, Dr. Seyi.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. So let's start from here. Which one worries you the most? The fact that we felt that we've gotten to a particular level of stability, then suddenly it peaked, or the fact that when it started again, it went at a very horrendous situation that we felt we've gone past? Which one is it?
Well, surprisingly, I'm not surprised because it is much expected. Being in this industry for a very long time and a professional in this field, when you having situations that we experienced in the last 3 weeks, it is expected that some of the things that we saw that we believe to be probably an upsurge or increase in capacity of this non-state actor is not the way it is rather. For example, the Donald Trump ranting on truth leading to the threat that Nigeria can be invaded, and some people saw it as an advantage for some political moves, and there's so much noise on the social media. The government's response also, believing that Trump can be heretical in nature, and bombarding Nigerian force bombarding lots of hideouts of the bandits and the non-state actors, naturally should resolve into them also taking action to ensure that they remain alive. And one of those such that are expected is that they will move out of those areas that the military are currently bombarding, and also to provide some cover. They would definitely or expected to carry out such kidnappings to provide human shield. So that when we are aware that they have children, school children with them, will be careful in their area. These people, striving very hard to remain alive, fighting for their life by, abducting, kidnapping school children, people in the church, people that we know can raise concern because, issues around Trump's ranting has to do with genocide of Christians. And so I'm not surprised that they went to church to go and carry people. Can and America will become interested, and there will be some restraint from how, they bombard them. Also, school children is something that, have been trended in the past, gathered a lot of traction in the past. So their choice of those weak soft targets is understandable. So it's not because they've grown in terms of capacity, but it's more or less like can be likened to the last kick of a dying horse.
Mm. All right. Do we clearly have an understanding of the challenges that we are facing as a country? Because to me, when you look at the recent development, it does appear that we are helpless. And I've had governors say that, okay, they got intelligence reports saying that terrorists were going to strike at a particular location, and security agents were told at the end of the day the incident still happened. So it appears we are helpless. And would you say that we might need foreign intervention, so to say?
Well,
you didn't get my question?
Whatever help we can get, as long as, yes, I got your question.
All right.
Whatever help we can get, as long as it is agreeable to the Nigerian government, ditto our security forces, it's okay by me. But it is not the one that the country will threaten us that they will come and invade Nigeria. I think that goes against the norms of international relations and diplomacy. On the area whether we are helpless, we are not. And you see, we need to understand the fact that the issue is enormous. The way we are looking at it, we feel that it's something that you can just excise from the body like a skin tag. But it's not. The society is involved. The people are involved. Those who are involved in this banditry, they are also likely from recruited within Nigeria. Within our villages and communities, they are from within. Communities are there. So when talking about our own people engaging criminality against us, and that's one of those most difficult things to actually address. But as to say whether we see, I said something on another platform that we have the best of the military in the world. But what our military have faced over over these years and been able to still sustain this, I'm not sure that any other country that's at the level of Nigeria in terms of technological capacity can actually survive what we have been able to survive. If we have the same technological sophistication like the United States, we would have better success than the United States Army. I can assure you that.
Okay.
But we also need, as a people, to provide support. Not the ones that we go on social media and they will start turning out fake news. See, 9 out of every 10 news you see on social media are fake news. I'm talking of security news.
Okay. I am not a security expert. However, I have reservations as to why there are obvious lapses that we should have dealt with that we're not dealing with. First, on one hand, is the fact that these guys attack soft targets. All the movement from where they are to the particular place where they struck, we can't find a trace. Secondly, we have, or another instance, we have some that have been released between yesterday and the day before. We don't have any details as to any clash between our security agencies and them. And the last but not the least, which is the other hand, is the emboldened nature of these terrorists shows that there's an international flow between these bandits and their local conspirators. Because how do they get their funding? How do they get their equipment, their arms? If not that somebody somewhere with the help of some international organizations are fueling this crisis in our own country.
Okay, let me talk on the last one. See, terrorism and insurgency have been on in sub-Saharan Africa for a very long time. Even before it got to Nigeria. It's been on far long before it got to Nigeria. Even in the southern part of Algeria, when the Muslim Brotherhood in Algeria formed the GSPC. What I'm trying to tell you is that the value chain for arms and ammunition smuggling, the black market in terms of capacity development, training on bombs and explosives, guerrilla warfare, military tactics, have been on ground for years. And record shows that Nigerians Some Nigerian fanatics have also been part of that. And it was also the remnant of that that led to the formation of Boko Haram in the first instance. So it is not a new thing that we are having them being able to search for things outside of the country. The value chain had always been there. The black market for all this has always been there. What we cannot verify is if foreign nations are financially and tactically involved to destabilize Nigeria. There have been theories around that space. Now, going back to the issue that you mentioned about no report, we need to be very careful as to how much of information that we want to put out there. A military brigadier general was stranded. Efforts were being made by the military to secure him, to locate and secure him. And then one media outlet went online to what?
Okay, we seem to be having issue with the network. We can barely hear what he's saying. Are you still there?
And that is the danger. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, please go on.
We missed out on the part we were talking about. The media house went ahead to talk about the stranded brigadier general.
General of the Nigerian army is missing. And the bandits saw this because they are very active on social media. They picked it up and they are talking about it.
The internet.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you now.
Yes, we can hear you.
So that is a challenge we have as a people. We need to also be careful how much of information. Now, I know that the intelligence agency in Nigeria led that effort towards, getting all those people, and they joined the force with other agencies, and were able to secure the release of those 38 people. Please, for crying out loud, let us celebrate the fact that they are back. Why are we so much concerned about that? When these people were kidnapped, were all crying around, what are they looking at? And within 2 or 3 days, they're able to secure their release. We are still after her. We didn't hear about gunshot. For crying out, what do we want as Nigeria? We want response from government.
The audio is gone again, and I wonder what is happening with the internet this morning. I see that he's very passionate about what he's saying, but as Nigerians, we have the right to know certain things so that the government will not give room for speculation or rumors as to how and where those people were rescued. But we hope we will come back online as soon as we are able to get a better network. We'll connect with him and, of course, continue with our discussion. How I was going to ask him.
Okay, while I get him very well, having covered security myself, that you don't release all the details, and some can be done in Chatham where you get some of this information, but it's not meant to be published.
Okay.
But you have a situation where we still have overzealous media organizations that will still go ahead and still talk about, like he mentioned, that looking for
breaking news
and a brigadier general, and those bandits were also on social media, and they were able to go trace and kill a brigadier. Do you know what it means for you to train a brigadier general in Nigeria? That's huge, and it's colossal. It's a huge loss to the nation. Having said that, I believe that the information we are looking for is not necessarily to expose our security agency, just to give us something that will, in fact, bolster the confidence of Nigerians to, perhaps if you say these are the people that tried to do this thing and they are dead, not necessarily the exact locations where they're killed or how they were able to secure the release or the nitty-gritty of it. I felt that's what we are looking for, not necessarily that they should tell us we went there around 2 a.m. and we met them in Kuchingoro. That's not what we're saying.
And there was something Dr. Aditayo also said, that we must commend our military guys for doing a very good job. I know that when it
It's
comes
not. It's not
to,
funny. Oh.
it is not funny.
You
And
while all of
when it
us are
comes
sleeping,
to,
some people are on the field, and the likelihood of them returning home is maybe with
it is
equipment, and
50-50.
is 50-50.
And when you look at the volume of problem that we are facing as a country and the number of manpower that we have, the difference is quite huge. Nigeria is under policed as we speak. Probably that was why Mr. President also gave that directive yesterday that all those policemen attached to the VIPs should be withdrawn for them to perform their core duties. But then, while we are chastising all the security agencies and, of course, praising them in some other aspect, we as Nigerians also have some role to play in ensuring that when we see something, we say something. And all these
You
merchants of
didn't
fake
finish
news,
it.
when you see something, you say something and you do something.
You do something. Yes.
So in doing something, let us ensure that we do what is right and not be a merchant of fake news like we have seen on social media, where everybody is a journalist.
And oftentimes, out of fear, wọ́n ní tí ògiri ò bá lanu, aláǹgbá kò lè wò ògiri.
Do the interpretation.
In other words, if you are not complicit or if you are not compromised, some things won't happen. We have so many situations where, in this happenstances, it is the connivance of
The enemies within.
enemies within that has enabled the enemies without to infiltrate the house, and we have it so many places. So I wish we can have him back so that we can wrap up this conversation as to where do we go from here. What should we do now? Because I am sure the president cancelled his South Africa trip to deal with this matter. Is he making headway? Do we have any soccer? Are we getting the girls back from KB? Or it will just go the way of another Chibok girls? And I feel so sad when I talk about this. I don't know about other people. The reason why those terrorists will even strike some of these places is because, look, they will elicit the kind of annoyance. And that's why some people have claimed that there are political undertone to this. Because you know that if you kidnap school children, it wells up emotions on the inside of you. Or you go to church where you know on the back of the fact that we was arguing it's not Christian genocide, it is Christian genocide. We want to invade the country. And you have some people with the audacity to go for a church. It shows that there is more to these things that meets the eye.
Anyway, as a country, we need to up our game, whether we like it or not, whether what we have seen or experienced lately, whether they are politically motivated or not. Government must up its game. Of course, we see that they are doing things here and there, trying to give Nigerians the assurance that indeed their welfare and security is most important to this government. But another one vital question I would have loved to ask Dr. Adetayo is the porosity of our borders. We have repeatedly, continuously on this program that our borders are quite porous and our enemies are making these their targets to penetrate the country and, of course, wreak havoc where they've been wreaking those havoc. And this is also a wake-up call on some governors whose states have not been struck. Now you need to start putting intelligence in place and, of course, fortify security around those schools, around those communities that you know are prone to attacks. So don't come and say, oh, we didn't know it was going to happen and that was why we did not prepare.
I don't know if you listened to Chief Gani Adams last week during this press conference. I think we should be circumspect to understand the times that we're in and to make sure that we do not allow for the kind of things we are imagining to happen. Because as it's going, we have so many clusters, we have so many, and you can see even around you. I used to tell my colleague then, Romelia, that look, in my estate they know me very well. If you walk into the estate
And
and
you're a
I don't know you, I will stop you.
It's
Even
good.
if I'm driving, I will just stop and say, excuse me, are you
Who are
looking?
you?
The first thing I'll say, not who are you? I say, hello, are you looking for anyone? And I say, no, I stay here. I say, where? Which house? Where are you going to? I need to know. You can't just walk in. I don't, because I have my kids in that close. Oh, you can't just yes. Tojú tìyẹ́ làparò fi ń ríran o. I don't do like just walk by because it doesn't affect you. Wọ́n ní kójú má ríbi gbogbo ara lògùn ẹ̀. I'm sorry that I have to speak a lot of Yoruba this morning, but that is what I know. You have to
You have to be vigilant.